Think positive.
Welcome back to the GHOUL-AMBROSE podcast, G-A for short. I'm your host, Prince. This is a space for inner work, self-improvement, self-discovery, mindset, accountability, integrity, reflection, and personal development. This podcast is built for growth, for honesty, and for becoming a better version of yourself, one day at a time. New episodes drop every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Today's episode is called Wisdom Session, environment, a gathering, a setting, a session. I have so many questions, but I want to sit there and just listen. I'm focused. No distractions. It's free. I just have to be quiet. There's a feeling that comes with being around people who have lived more than one version of themselves. Different stages, decisions, consequences, different lessons. A conversation can start anywhere. A job, a relationship, money, family, growing up, mistakes, regrets, things that worked, things that didn't. And somewhere inside of all that, something useful can surface. It doesn't have to be announced. It doesn't need a title. Sometimes the most valuable part of a conversation is the thing nobody planned to say. That's what makes a room like this feel different. Nobody has to perform. Nobody has to prove anything. There's simply space for something to be shared. When wisdom comes to mind, an older person is usually the first image that appears. Somebody who's been around long enough to see certain patterns repeat. They've watched decisions turn into consequences. They've seen people change, had opportunities disappear, had opportunities return. They've learned that some things aren't worth fighting over. Other things are worth protecting. Time has a way of revealing things that weren't obvious at first. A decision can feel completely right in one moment and look completely different years later. That's where age can matter. Not because getting older automatically makes someone wise, but because time creates more opportunities to observe what happens after the decision is made. But wisdom isn't only leaning towards the elders. It goes in both directions. Age doesn't guarantee understanding, and youth doesn't mean emptiness. There are people who have lived through difficult situations early. People who have had to mature quickly. People who have learned from watching what happened to somebody else. There are lessons that come from living. There are also lessons that come from paying attention. Those aren't always the same thing. And sometimes wisdom sounds like this. This is what I thought. This is what I learned. Take this. Avoid this. Do this. Don't do that. This is how I did it. I wish I knew this sooner. You feel what I'm saying? I've been through this before. I made that mistake too. I thought I knew. I was wrong. You might see it differently. That's not how I would have done it. Maybe there's another way. I didn't understand it at first either. Some things only make sense after you live through them. I can tell you what happened to me, but you still have to make your own decision. I'm still learning too. There's a difference between receiving advice and surrendering a decision. Someone can tell a story without telling anyone what to do. A warning can be given without becoming a rule. A mistake can be explained without demanding that somebody else avoid the exact same path. That's where judgment comes in. Take the information. Consider where it came from. Consider what happened. Then decide what belongs in the situation at hand. Because copying somebody else's life isn't the purpose. Understanding what their life can teach is. The lesson isn't in the advice at all. It's in the hesitation, the change in someone's voice, the part of the story they almost skipped, the sentence that gets repeated because it still matters to them. Those details can say more than something that runs long. Someone might spend 10 minutes talking about a situation and leave one sentence sitting in the room. That sentence might be the part that stays, not because it was perfectly worded, because it came from somewhere real. I hope you found something worth taking with you today. Maybe a new perspective, maybe a moment to pause and reflect. Thank you for being here and sharing this space with me. Your presence matters. If this resonated with you, share it with someone you care about, because growth spreads through connection. I'll see you next time. Take care of yourself. Stay grounded. And as always, be safe.